When did you expose your professor's dark secret? My physics professor, Dr. Mitchell, was the most popular teacher at our college. Everyone wanted to take his classes. He had this way of making complicated stuff seem easy. He'd crack jokes during lectures, let students turn in work late without penalties. Once he even canceled an exam because the class average was too low. "I'm here to help you learn, not stress you out," he'd always say. I was failing pretty much every other class my sophomore year, but Dr. Mitchell's class? I had an A. Same with my roommate Tyler, who literally never studied. My girlfriend Emma was in a different section and also had an A. Everyone in every section seemed to pass with great grades. One Tuesday, I left my notebook in the lecture hall. I ran back to grab it right after class. The door was locked, which was weird because Dr. Mitchell was usually still packing up his stuff. I heard voices inside, Dr. Mitchell and someone else. I pressed my ear to the door. "The midterm answer key is on page 17. Make sure it's not obvious you're using it." I froze. That was definitely his voice. The other voice belonged to Brett, this kid who sat in the back row and never paid attention. "Thanks, professor. Same deal as last time?" "Yeah, 500, cash only." I heard footsteps coming toward the door. I ran down the hallway and hid in the bathroom until they left. That night, I couldn't sleep. Was Dr. Mitchell really selling test answers? The guy everyone loved? I started paying closer attention in class, watching Brett. He'd show up to exams with these tiny pieces of paper tucked in his calculator case. I noticed other students too, maybe 6 or 7 kids who always sat together. They'd all get perfect scores even though they never participated. One of them was Ashley from my dorm. I asked her casually how she studied for Dr. Mitchell's tests. "Oh, I don't really study," she laughed. "I just pay attention in class." But I'd seen her. She never paid attention. She spent every lecture on her phone. I decided to test something. For the next exam, I deliberately wrote wrong answers to 3 questions I knew were correct. Questions Dr. Mitchell had specifically reviewed in class. I got a 97%. Those 3 questions marked as correct even though my answers were completely wrong. He wasn't even grading our tests. He was just giving everyone high scores. I went to the department head, Professor Davis. She was this older woman who'd been teaching there for 30 years. Really strict but fair. I told her everything. The conversation I overheard, the students who never studied but always aced tests, my experiment with wrong answers getting marked right. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she said, "Do you have any proof?" I didn't. Just my word against the most beloved professor on campus. "Get me proof," she said. "Real evidence, then we can act." So I did something risky. I set up my phone to record audio and left it in the classroom before his office hours. Tucked it under a desk in the back corner. That Thursday, I picked it up after everyone left. I stayed up all night listening to 4 hours of recordings. Most of it was boring. Students asking about homework, Dr. Mitchell being his usual friendly self. But at the 3-hour and 17-minute mark, I heard it. Brett's voice. "Hey, Dr. Mitchell, got the 500 for next week's final?" "Yeah, meet me at my car after 8. Here's the study guide. It's basically the test with different numbers." I had him. I sent the recording to Professor Davis. She called me into her office the next morning looking completely shocked. "I've known Dr. Mitchell for 15 years, she said quietly. "I never would have believed this." The investigation moved fast. They checked his bank records, found dozens of cash deposits, $500, over and over. They interviewed students. 6 kids admitted paying him for answers. Turns out it had been going on for 3 years. Dr. Mitchell was fired within 2 weeks, arrested for academic fraud. Every student who'd taken his class in the past 3 years had their grades reviewed. My A became a C after they properly graded my work. I deserved it. Brett and the others got expelled, lost their scholarships. One kid's parents tried to sue me for ruining their son's future. The worst part, half the students hated me, called me a snitch, said I destroyed a good thing. "Why couldn't you just mind your business?" some girl yelled at me in the cafeteria. "Because I watched kids who actually studied get the same grades as kids who cheated. Because real learning matters." Dr. Mitchell pleaded guilty, got 6 months in jail and had to pay back over $40,000. Professor Davis asked me to speak at freshman orientation about academic integrity. I told them what I learned. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is.